So even before sin, God had the tree of knowledge of good and evil already in place. That's an interesting thing because in Genesis 2, you have this tree of knowledge of good and evil on the sixth day, a clear command, don't eat this fruit. But the end of the sixth day, which we see in Genesis 1:31, it says that everything was very good. So that included this tree and the fruit that was on it, everything. So there's something to that. So it was simply the knowledge. It's interesting, the knowledge of of good and evil. To know evil is not the same as being or doing evil. There is a distinction there. I think that's important to know. God knows all. He's omniscient, and so he knows about evil, yet he himself does not have to be evil just because he knows it. He's without sin himself. So evil existed in concept, but it wasn't materialized yet. It wasn't actualized, if you want to say it that way, until Satan. Satan was the first one ever, historically. Which is kind of interesting. We're not going to go into all the details of Satan today, but Satan chose evil. His first evil choice is actually seen in Ezekiel 28. In side note, while I turn there, Ezekiel 1 and 10 gives you a description of the cherubim, and Satan is a cherub. And then Ezekiel 28 has a more specific description of Satan himself. Kind of a unique look here. But we're not going to look at all those verses too much. You have in Ezekiel 28, there's this word against the prince of Tyre, and that would start at the very beginning, go through verse 10. And then it picks up in verse 12 with the king of Tyre, and goes through there. There's a real guy in a real land, real bad, a lot of stuff there. In this last section, verses 12 through 19, you have this intensification. It's not just the prince, it's the king. A lot of people would say, yes, this shows that this is who is behind this evil leader, Satan himself. Because you have a clear, the details here, obviously it's referring to Satan, obviously, when you go through some of these things. So some would even say that Satan probably possessed this guy. He was pretty bad. But we don't know that for sure. But here we go. Let's look at Ezekiel 28, 12 through 19. Just to start off in the middle of that verse 12. You were, talking to Satan, you were the signet of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty.